This is the third and final session on New Mexico geography. Most people think of New Mexico as a desert state, and most people think deserts are flat lands of sand. So untrue. New Mexico has 88 mountain ranges. A mountain range is a group of mountains. So that means 88 groups of mountains in this state. Mountain ranges are commonly found in 3 of our geographic regions. Which geographic region has the fewest mountains or mountain ranges? That's right, the Plains region. But relax, you will be learning 6 of the 88 ranges. Before we start the mountain ranges, let's mark the highest point and lowest point in elevation in the state. The highest point is in Taos County, called Wheeler Peak. I'm using an orange triangle to show the location on the east side of Taos County. The lowest point in New Mexico is almost in Texas. Follow the Pecos River south to the Texas border. This river has a dam built on it in Texas and forms the Red Bluff Reservoir. The lowest point is called the Red Bluff Reservoir. I'm using an orange circle to mark it. At the bottom of the map, add Wheeler Peak and Red Bluff Reservoir to the legend. The average elevation in New Mexico is 5,700 feet. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Denver may be the mile-high city, but New Mexico is the mile-high state. Go back up to Wheeler Peak now. Wheeler Peak is not one lonely little mountaintop. It belongs to a mountain range called the Sangre de Cristo, which is the southern end of the Rocky Mountains. Because of my great artistic talent, yes, that is sarcasm, my symbols for mountains are upside-down V's. I'm using a green marker and adding several upside-down V's to show multiple mountains. I'll write the name of the mountain range on the map next to the range itself. Remember, you have the power. If you need more time for drawing or writing, pause the video. This is a picture of a photograph of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. The words themselves are Spanish for blood of Christ. The photograph shows the deep red of the mountain rock. The reddish hues are more brilliant during sunrise and sunset. Follow the Rio Grande south into Sandoval County. Just below Los Alamos County, add the Jemez Mountains in the northeast corner of Sandoval County. This mountain range is in the Plateau region and was recently a victim of a forest fire. In this picture of the Jemez Mountains, we can see how typical they are of the Plateau region. They have mesas, the flat-top mountains. You can see a ridge of the mesas in the foreground, and then more shapely mountains in the back. Remember, in Plateau mountains, all of this shaping occurred due to erosion. Mesas became flat because the softer rock at the top of the original mountain wore away. The next 3 mountain ranges are all in the Basin and Range region, and I'm going to leave this same picture up the whole time. In the eastern side of Bernalillo County, let's put the Sandia Mountains, the ones that you probably see. The Sandias are most well known for their neighbor, the city of Albuquerque. The name Sandia may have come from the Spanish word for watermelon because the pink granite in the mountains gives the mountain range the pinkish appearance. Another theory is that Sandia came from a local Native American word meaning squash, referring to all the squash that grew in the area. Travel south, directly south of the Sandias, and you will be in Torrance County at the western end. Please put in the Manzano Mountains. Like the Sandias, the Manzanos are a popular recreation area and close to the big cities. The Manzanos have also experienced forest fires in the last couple decades. The Sandias and the Manzanos used to be one mountain range millions upon millions of years ago, until a middle section had a minor sinking experience. Fortunately, we now use that flat land between the Manzanos and the Sandias for Route 66 and Interstate 40. Lastly, in the Basin and Range region, let's head further south to the Sacramentos. We're in Otero County. The Sacramento Mountains are about centrally located in Otero County, running north to south. The small city of Alamogordo sits on the western side of the Sacramentos. This mountain range is 85 miles long and up to 40 miles wide in places. The Sandia Mountains at sunset, with Albuquerque dwarfed in the foreground. You can see the pinkish watermelon color of the mountains. This is also a typical basin and range mountain with the flat land in front of a rising mountain range. Most of the mountain ranges have peaks that reach 10,000 feet. Heading south, here are the Manzanos. Again, the features are similar. The grassland is like the bottom of a baking pan, with the mountains rising up to form the sides. And these are the Sacramentos. We have the same pattern, flat land with rising sides. However, because we are much further south, our vegetation has changed. We don't have grassland any longer. Instead, we have plants that are more familiar to a high desert location. Okay, now, the final mountain range we're going to do is in the southwestern corner of Catron County. So let's head back over to the Plateau region, go west, and we are going to the Mogollon Mountains. I know it is spelled M-O-G-O-L-L-O-N, and it is pronounced Mogollon. They are named for Juan Ignacio Flores Mogollon, governor of Nuevo León in 1712. The reason you're learning these mountains is because they are, the Mogollon name is often used in this area of the Southwest for geological formations and other place names. So you need to be familiar with it. Congratulations! You are finished with your map. You can check your level of understanding. To be proficient, you should be able to turn your map over, name 6 rivers, 6 mountain ranges, and 4 geographic regions. If you want to be advanced, go ahead and list out those rivers, ranges, and regions. Pull out a blank piece of paper and draw the map from memory. Feel free to do this again, just listening if you want. Otherwise, I would suggest you save your map, and it will help you with your next activity. Thank you very much. Here's a photograph of the Mogollon Mountains. These are near Silver City and the Gila Wilderness, an area that it also sees numerous wildfires. Notice that the landscape is covered with small bushes and trees, even at these higher altitudes. In the dry season, there is plenty to burn.